Hello and welcome to Old Ways Gardening and Prepping. My name is Teresa. I'd like to welcome you to my backyard up underneath the canopy where we're going to do another segment of late night canning because I've been busy today trying to rescue as many of my plants as I can because we have a hard freeze coming. So, got to do what I can do when I can get it done. Now today I'm going to be making pickled sweet beets. Yes, I know there is a love-hate relationship with many people with beets. I absolutely love beets. Love them roasted, love them pickled, love them plain canned, and we're going to be able to water back can them because they're going to be pickled in a lot of vinegar and sugar, so that's a bonus. It won't take us long either. Now, I was blessed with a 25-pound bag of very young beets for $8.25. I would have got 2 bags, but they only had 1 bag left. And this is bowl number 2. The other ones are already been washed and put in my pot, so they'll be waiting on these to join them. I've got to wash these, get them real good. They're already really clean. I'm very impressed. So I pay for beets and not dirt, so that's a good thing always. So going to get these cleaned up, and what we're going to need is apple cider vinegar, and I'll show you how to make beet juice. And it's not from the cooking liquids, so stay tuned for that. I was blessed to be able to get organic Saigon cinnamon on clearance. So I'm going to have some cinnamon in it. And I'm going to use a little bit of cloves. A lot of people go overboard with the cloves. And I'm not a big fan of them. I do like them, but I don't want it to be overpowering. So what I'm going to do is get these washed up, get them in the pot with their other relatives, and we're going to get them cooking, and I'll bring you back here in just a little bit. Okay, I have 1 bowl of beets per pot because I like my beets to have room to roll around in the boiling water, and there's less chance for them to scorch and stick on the bottom. Now I'm fixing to put my lids on. I already have my flame on. I'm going to bring them up to a boil and cut the heat down just a little bit because you want a light boil. And I'm going to, since these are young beets, it's probably only going to take about 30 minutes for them to get tender. But starting at 20 minutes, I'm going to take my paring knife and test them for tenderness. And if they get tender before 30 minutes, I'll bring you back. And then we're going to have to drain them, let them cool, and then we'll continue on with the process. See you back here once they're tender. Okay, my beets are cooked. They cooked faster than 30 minutes. And what I'm going to do is scoop them out into my colander. I have the bowl to catch any juice that drains out. And the cooking liquid is not the liquid I'll be saving to add to the brine. I do my beets differently. Alright, I'm going to scoop these hot little things out, let them start cooling, and I'll bring you back here in a little bit when I get ready to start the brine. Okay, I already have 1 of the pots of beets strained. Now you want them knife tender, not mushy. Just enough where you can get a knife in them easily. Because if you make them mushy, they're not going to be good. Now right now I'm going to work on my brine. Now my usual recipe is for 10 pounds of beets. I've got 25, so I'm going to double my brine. I will put the original amounts of the brine in my description box below. There we go, that's the magic word. Now, there's going to have to be a substitute because apparently I have no clove powder whatsoever. So I'm going to substitute allspice, which pretty much tastes and smells the same. So let's get busy. I have because I'm doubling my batch of brine. I have 4 cups of cane sugar in the pot. Because I'm going to let my brine set while I'm peeling my beets. I'm going to use a tablespoon of the Saigon cinnamon. Hold on a minute. Sorry about that. There's just no excuse in that. Now, since allspice and cloves can be really strong, I'm going to start out with a teaspoon of Jamaican Allspice. If it needs more, then I'll add more, but I'm starting out slowly with it. And I'm going to need 2 tablespoons of salt. Remember, doubling the brine. And I'm going to need 4 cups. I use apple cider vinegar because it has more health benefits in it. And if you're going to eat what you can, might as well make it healthy. I'm going to have to work fast because my poor measuring cup was attacked by some critter out here and it's got a big crack in it. So I'm going to need 8 cups of apple cider vinegar. Yep. It's going to be somewhere in that range. Let's see. There we go. And a little glug extra. I'm going to cut my flame on. Because at the moment, I can't add the beet water until I get the beets peeled. So I'm just going to bring this up until the sugar dissolves. And once the sugar dissolves, then I'll cut the flame off and let it sit and blend together. And it's just giving time for the beets to cool off so I can actually handle them. And I'll show you how to peel them and what I mean by beet water. Because you do not want to use your cooking water because there's a chance there'll be grains of sand in it, dirt, and so on. Oh, let me tell you, this smells good. These are going to be some wonderful beets. Hey, I've done it without coughing. That's a miracle in itself. I absolutely love vinegar, but it makes me cough and choke every time. And you want to make sure you get your spices off the side of your pot. Don't leave nothing behind. Okay, it's steaming. I know my sugar's dissolved. And I'm going to let that sit for a while. And I'll bring you back here in a little bit when it's time to peel the beets. Now I can make me a big old mug of coffee because it's starting to get a little chilly out here. See you back here in a little bit. I'm all set and ready to go. I have a pot below me so that I can just drop my peelings off of the beets into. This is the bowl that's going to make your beet water. You want just a little bit of water because I'll show you, once you peel your beets, just want to make sure you get that skin off. I'm not worried about having red hands. If you're worried about having red hands, definitely make sure you wear some gloves. And be careful, they are slippery. Oh, they smell so wonderful. You should have smelled them cooking. Okay, you got all of like I said, they're slippery, so watch out. Just slice them and drop them into the water because they're going to bleed out a little bit. And you see that it's already starting to bleed out and on my hands. So this is going to be fun. So once I get all the beets peeled and sliced, I'll bring you back because this is going to be a labor of love and I love my beets. I'll see you back here in just a little while. Well, it's going to be a little while. Welcome back. I'm going to get these beets canned one way or another. It had ended up becoming too cold outside and I didn't want after all my work for my jars to go to waste by exploding from the cold. Now, another thing I wanted to mention, save your beet peelings. That way you can dehydrate them and powder them up, which is another video coming. Now, a lot of recipes I have seen call for you to reserve cooking liquid from your beets. That's not what you use. What I use, this is what beet water is. This is a little bit of water with all the juices from your sliced beets. Cooking liquid has no flavor to it, nothing, but a good chance that there will be some dirt and some sand in it. And that's not what you want in your jars. So now, like I said, I'm doing a double recipe, so I'm going to need to reserve 4 cups. Look how beautiful and dark that is. I'm going to reserve 4 cups of it and add it to the brine that's heating up. And of course, the brine's real good and warm. After I add this, I'm going to stir it real good, taste it, and see if I need to adjust the cinnamon or the allspice. So far, the cinnamon and allspice in the apple cider vinegar taste wonderful. And the amount of sugar doesn't make it overly sweet, which I'm thankful for because I was leery about that. It's been a while since I've made any. And what you do is you just add it. I'm not even that close and it still got me. I tell you, me and vinegar have a love-hate relationship. I absolutely love it, but uh-oh. plenty warming up. It's me and vinegar. This is no, even when I take my fire cider, the same thing happens. That is perfect. Perfect balance of sweet and spices. Okay, I'm gonna get everything set up. I have my jars heating in the oven. Yes, on the very lowest setting of the oven, it's perfectly fine. Will not hurt anything. There it is. That's another thing, me and pot holders. And the jars have heated up to 170. Okay, my beets are warm. My brine is hot. I'm going to finish gathering everything else and I'll bring you right back. Okay, let's get busy making some beautiful pickled beets. And you want to try not to get much of your beet water in there because you want more of your brine. Okay, pot holder. There's never enough room. And remember, your jars are hot. Okay. What did I do? There it is. Okay, always stir your brine real good. And I'm going for 1-inch headspace. Make sure you debubble. And as you can see, that brine's a whole lot prettier and darker. And all I'm doing is using a very warm, wet paper towel. Put your lid and band on, and into your rack. We're going to do one more. Of course, this might not look like 25 pounds of sliced beets because give or take a few. Yep, I ate quite a few. It's an addiction. I absolutely love beets. And when they're young beets and not giant beets, like I'm used to using, these young beets are so good and tender. And you want to make sure you get plenty of beets in your jar. Okay, let's go get some brine put in here. And remember, do not stand right over the brine pot. I caught myself. It didn't get me this time. But you want to make sure you debubble and get all those bubbles out. Push your beets back down. If you want to get as many beets as you can in these jars. Make sure you clean the rims very well. And I have 2, 4, 6, 8 more to do. And I will bring you back as soon as I get those done. See you here after a bit. Okay, I have my 10 pint jars full and ready to go. I'm going to take the lid off my canner. Gently put my jars in. Plenty enough water to cover at least, I have at least 2 inches of headspace. Headspace means the jars are under at least 2 inches of water. I'm going to put my lid back. Now, when it comes back up to boil, is when I will start timing it, and I'm going to water bath can them for 15 minutes. And I have to admit, I absolutely love the allspice in the mixture better than I do the cinnamon. Alright, now, it'll be 15 minutes once this comes back up to boil. I'll see you then. Okay, it has been 15 minutes. I've cut my heat down on low. I've let them sit for a few minutes, and now we're going to get them out. Look how, well, let's see, can you see? There we go. Look how beautiful. Oh, I was going to fix that. And you definitely want to put your hot jars on a towel on your counter. Because if your counter's cold, you take a chance of the bottom of your jar busting out. my lid back on because I have plenty more jars to can up. Bring you right back. But look how dark and rich and beautiful they are. That's going to be some amazing beets. They just need to sit up for at least a week or two before you eat them. That way the pickling brine will soak into the beets real nicely. Simple, easy, anybody can. You just have to believe in yourself. Okay, I noticed that I needed to make a correction in my video. I said that I enjoyed the allspice more than I did the cinnamon. Not true. The cinnamon was amazing because I used Saigon cinnamon. To me, it's the best cinnamon that you can use. Now, I will say what I want to correct is from now on, I will be using the allspice, Jamaican ground allspice, in replacement of the cloves. Cloves tend to be way too strong, and the allspice just gives it an amazing, well-rounded flavor. So, from now on, when I make my pickled beets, I'm thankful that I'll be using the Jamaican ground allspice. I'm glad I was out of cloves because I wouldn't have tried it this way before. And from now on, I will be making it this way, and I'll have the recipe for the brine in the comment section below. Just wanted to make sure that I made this correction. I hope you've enjoyed this video and it encourages you to also make your own pickled beets. Now I will say that the beet water here, the beet water is the water that you add a little bit of and you slice your beets into, and a lot of the beet juice is reserved in that water. Do not throw it out. You can use it in soups. You can cook it in with cabbage, which is amazing. You can drink it. You can bake bread with it. There's so much that you can do with it. And this hasn't been boiled or anything, so it still has all of its nutrients. Now, the brine, if you have any of the brine left over, you can use it in a way like fire cider. Take a shot of it every day or twice a day. It won't hurt you. It's good for you. Yes, it has some sugar in it, but not as sweet as some things are. Beets are extremely high in magnesium, potassium, manganese, fiber, vitamin K. Let's see, what is it? B6 or B9. So don't throw out your beet water. Definitely don't throw away your beet peels. That's dehydrating the beet peels is another video coming up. Healthy and nutritious, good food, and I've got a whole lot more to jar up, so I'm fixing to get busy. Everyone take care. I look forward to seeing you in my next video, and may you each be blessed and stay safe out there, everyone.